Hi, this is Rich Coles from Prodactive. I've been meaning to do this video for a while because I want to show people how you can use the index distinct formula for a whole series of different purposes. It's an incredibly powerful formula which helps you bring in information from sheets with lots of data in, lots of rows of mixed information, and then you can bring that back to have unique entries in another sheet that you can then use for many different purposes. And so I'm going to show you how I use that and why I'm quite excited about it. So again, trying to show, and always the purpose of this channel is to inspire people. If you do want inspiration, I'll put a link to our resources page as well, and then you can see all sorts of other things which we have on our website to try and give you an idea of what is possible with Smartsheet. So let's dive in and have a look. So I'm in this sheet and it's a project team contact list. And you can see all the various people who are on that project team. Now, what's happening here is this is actually being pulled using an index distinct formula from the project time plan. Let's have a quick look at the project time plan. So here's the project time plan, and all the various people who are added to it appear automatically in the sheet. So if I add a new person, for example, let's just say Wade is now going to do this task on the project. He will be added into the project. And if I go back to the list here, we can see Wade isn't currently in here at the moment. But if I refresh the sheet, well, I don't need to refresh the sheet. There we go. Wade has already just popped into the sheet, and you can see that his name has come in. So what it means is automatically your sheets are being updated for you without having to say, right, I've got this one, I've got to go. The whole point for us on Smartsheet is only handle it once, data goes in one place and it should be appearing where else you want it to. And once you've got that information in there, you could have all sorts of other fancy things going on. In this case, I've got a slightly more complex formula, which is it's a join collect formula. I won't go into that in this video now, but it's looking at what are the tasks assigned to Rich Coles over the next 2 weeks and other team members as well. And you can see it, they're separated out. Separate, slightly more complex video. So that is where it becomes useful. Now, if you've seen any of our project and portfolio videos and how we use our dashboards in PPM, on those dashboards, we like to include a view of the status of projects over the past 8 weeks. And so it's a rolling time plan. Now, to get new projects, if you've got a dynamic portfolio of projects are coming in and going out, etc., well, you're constantly having to adding them to that sheet. You can have automations which say when a new project is added to your portfolio sheet, send it there. Again, it creates different levels of complexity that maybe you don't want, but what you can equally do is just create a little index distinct formula in here where any new project appears. So what I'm going to do again, just to demonstrate this, is new project live demo. And excuse my spelling there, I'll just quickly correct that. He says, trying to correct it. There we go. New project live demo. I'm going to save it and I'm going to copy those information down as well, etc. Innovation marketing, new project live demo. Great. How's this going to appear here? Well, that's how fast it appears, by the way. Save me doing anything. It's automatically appeared here because I've got this index distinct formula. So just as I break it down very simply, there's not much to remember here. You start using index, and the index formula is ultimately going to look at your other sheet, and what you're asking it to do is then bring back distinct items, so unique items that are within that list, and you're going to tell it to look at the range of data. So this cross-sheet reference is saying, look down here, and I want you to find every one that is distinct. Now, they all are distinct, so it'll bring back all of them, bringing them back to the sheet. And all it needs at the end of that formula is the row index. So it says, when you look at that sheet, what lines or rows do you want me to look at? And I'm saying, well, look at the top row, row 1, all the way down, please. Okay, so what I've done is I've pre-populated this list so it could run to 40. The way I've pre-populated this list, as I've said, I put in number 1 where I want to start. Again, because I've got data up here, or rather I've got rows up here. So I say put row 1, and then I just start having a little formula, which is that row plus 1, and I can drag it down. So if I wanted to have 50, which is monitoring instead, and drag it down further, then it will monitor up to 50 and it copies all the other formulas there. So as new projects appear, they will appear here. So again, quite a simple formula. Once you've got that formula there, then you can have all sorts of other formulas which are going saying, right, when you find that, now look at the sheet and bring me back the project name, or bring me back the RAG status, which is, which falls within this time range, or this time range, etc. So all the things you can do ultimately is getting the list into your sheet. Another quick view is you can also get it to bring into a sheet, and you can say, well, I want a list. So I'm using my dropdowns. If I'm managing dropdowns and using many tools out there, if you're using, for example, the new Smartsheet with table view dropdown, then you can be looking and creating a list to say, just bring me back, I want for this dropdown just the projects that fall under efficiency or extension. And ultimately what I've done here is I've used a slightly more advanced version of that formula. And what that is, it's an index distinct. But in this case, I've used the collect formula, which enables me to say, okay, give me some criteria. Okay, bring me back the project names that are of the strategic alignment strategy that are efficiency. And again, I just put in that for the collect item rather than just the range. And then I say, and by the way, look at the row and do it from row 1 downwards as well. So in this case, it's just saying, find me the efficiency projects. So if we go back to here, it's looking, going, okay, efficiency, 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 and scrolling down, efficiency. It brings them back into that list that you can see. And you can see the one I did live demo, innovation, is already popped into here. There is a different way of doing this using a join collect formula if you want to have that, and this can be very useful on a dashboard where, for example, you might have stage gate and all the projects in stage gate 1, 2, 3, 4, or efficiency, many different things, depends on what your needs are. The joy of Smartsheet, you can ultimately create it to do whatever you want when you know how to fit these tools together. Just one other way I might look at this is holidays. For example, I could have a holiday tracker again, and I might want to say, well, who are the team members and when are they on holiday? So again, it's then going to go from the holiday tracker, find me new people are added. And in this case, so I've got the index distinct formula going on. Again, it's using the row reference. And in this case, it's saying, right, find me all the dates when Rich is on holiday and join and collect different video, which I will do. The last thing I'm just going to show for a bit of inspiration is I particularly love with resource management, how that now we get all the data, and this is what particularly drove me to do this. I've got all this data coming through and it's got masses of data, but I can't read or get my head around this data or do anything with it. But what I'll do is I want to create a sheet that I can do something with it. So in this case, I've said, well, great, find me every time that, find me all the individual people on the sheet. Fine. So it's going to bring up all the individual people. And then in this case, I've given it an ask to say, well, add up the total of Rich Coles in next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after. Again, in this formula, I've given it a criteria to say, find that person. So this is the index distinct formula, which is going on here. You can see index distinct, and it's then going, looking at that sheet and finding the name of the person. And then in here, this is the formula here is ultimately looking at the date, and then it's creating a bit of a parameter beyond that and saying, is the date the same date for that week as in the other data? Again, more complex, I won't go into that now, but what it enables you to do is start then creating charts that you could have from that data to say, okay, well, let me actually look here, and if I just start going off in here on this view, you can then start seeing, well, actually, I can then start looking at my people and then working out, okay, so let's just see what's Rich Coles' profile looking like for the next 8 weeks. Oh dear, we have trouble here. We need to fix this one. And let's just see, okay, Alejandra, what's she up to? Okay, same. Oh, actually, yeah, okay, that's fine. So actually, let's just take off Rich. Yep, Alejandra, 40 hours a week. That's all good. So again, what this is starting to enable you to do is actually do some powerful things with the data that's coming out of Smartsheet. All we're trying to do always is have connected data, which shows you what's going on, how you can bring it together to have better insights, to transform execution, unlock potential in your business. If this has been useful, have a look at our website. So much more that is available on our resources page and overall in our showcase page as well. So you can go there and find all sorts of things which will hopefully inspire you. And now in the new year, we'll be inspiring you with a lot more videos. Thanks for watching and bye for now.